Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. If you saw my video pretty recently on our haul of merch from NAIC, I said in that video that I was going to be doing a separate video about the cards. And here we are. We're going to look at the cards that were released alongside NAIC and talk a little bit about them. First of all, we of course have this nest ball. This was given to anyone who qualified for the event and who staffed the event, and just features the Internationals logo there. I'll show it off. This is the Europe one, so you can see that it does designate which tournament's from: North America, and we have Europe. Interestingly, because of the removal of OCIC down in Oceania, these are the only two English language promos for this year, because the Latin America one is always in Portuguese. And going forward, for some future years, we might have it where North America is the only English language one, because Europe jumps back and forth between London and Germany, and so when it's in Germany, the card is printed in German. So going forward, like I said, we might have NAIC being the only English language IC promo for future years. But hey, we'll talk about that if and when it happens. For now, let's focus on this year's NAIC. So we have the player version here. You can see it has no additional stamp, just the event logo. It's reverse hollowed, has the Play Pokemon logo in the background. Next up, we of course have the staff version. Anyone who staffed got, I believe, anywhere between 1 and 4 of these, depending on how long they staffed the event for, whether they were just there for a one shift or a full weekend and level of seniority, that kind of thing. So obviously this one belongs to Law, who worked on staff. That's my wife, for anyone who doesn't know. But we got enough that I've got one of these as well, and so does David, actually, because Law got a full playset of 4. So this one has, as you can see, it has the nice standout golden lettering on it. I've called this one embossed in the past and then got told off for it, and been told that embossed would more likely mean the stamp into the card, but this is the nice raised lettering that I've talked about before that I really, really like on these cards. Next up, we have a top 8 version. This one does belong to David. You know, David made the purchase for this one, but didn't go to the event, so I've been helping him pick those up. This one obviously went out to anyone who made top 8 in any of the divisions, so it's the 3 age divisions in TCG, 3 age divisions in VGC, and then Pokemon Go and Unite. I think when I talked about the EUIC ones in the video, I mistakenly believed it was just the 6 age divisions of TCG and VGC, but it's not. It's Unite and Go get these stamped cards as well. So these IC promos should actually be more common than any ICs in the past. Now, above this one, there is, of course, the champion version. We don't have one of those on hand to show you just yet. David was not able to make a deal for one of those at the event. Hopefully he's going to make a deal on one soon. If the card comes to me, I'll show it off, but there is a chance it's just going to go straight to David. We'll see how it goes. He will at least be able to get me photos and stuff of it when he gets it, and, you know, he will. This one actually shouldn't be too hard for him to pick up, because, as I said, Unite and Go do get these cards as well, so there's at least double what there have been for previous years, because normally there'd be 3 for TCG and 3 for VGC, but Unite gets 5 because it's a full team of 5 players, and Go gets at least 1, so there's at least 12 copies of the champion out there for us to be getting. Now, next up I'm going to show this card, and you might be saying, Dan, this is not a new card from NAIC, this card has been given out before, and you'd be right, but it ties kind of into a card that was first given out at NAIC, which I don't have yet, or I should say David doesn't have. I don't even have this one. This one's David's. So this is a Professor Program Voltorb. This is from Paldea Evolved, has the reverse hollow design and the Professor Program logo in the corner. Now, these were given out at Latin America IC and Europe IC for the Red Ball challenges that mentors run. For people who don't know about 5 of the terms or anything that I just used, mentors are kind of the team leads within the international championships. They oversee a large amount of the judges, and they basically, everyone focuses on their own team, and your mentor is there to help you out if you need anything. And a Red Ball challenge is kind of the mentor will occasionally during the weekend go up to a member of their team and then ask them something about the event, some kind of either trivia question or a how would you handle this situation hypothetical, just kind of a little test. It's normally not too hard, it's kind of just a casual thing, just try and keep them on their toes. And in the past they've done things where you got a little pin or something to say you did a Red Ball challenge, and then I think at some point Pokemon just realised, oh, we have a Pokemon that looks kind of just like a Red Ball, and so started giving out these Voltorbs for that. And the new Voltorb is the reason I'm doing this as a separate video. So the new Voltorb, which they started giving out at NAIC, is the Voltorb from 151, again in reverse with a Professor Program logo on it. And it's kind of assumed that this is going to be used in at least 1 or 2 more events going forward, probably at least at Worlds, potentially into some ICs next year. However, with the new 151 Voltorb, they did something a little bit different that they didn't do with this one. So, the Voltorb that got given out to the professors by their mentors whenever they passed a Red Ball challenge was basically the same kind of thing. It's a reverse holo copy, and it has the Professor Program logo on it. However, this time around, the mentors themselves got something a bit special. They got a Voltorb that was both reverse holo and Cosmos foil. So there are only a couple of cards have ever used that, where they've done 2 different versions. First, they used it for that weird Costco repackaged box. I think it was off the top of my head. Pikachu, Eevee, Charmander, and Magikarp, I think, had it in that box. The next thing, I'm going to show this off. This is not another not an NAIC card, but this is another card just to show that pattern. This is the new Professor Cup promo for this year. As you'll have seen in the past, there's friends in Galar, Haisu, and Sinnoh, which came in the regular staff top 8 champion. This is the Professor Cup promo for this year going forward. This again is David's. This is his staff version, or his staff copy. As you can see here, it's got the reverse pattern, but it also has the Cosmos foil if you tilt it. I'm sure I'll do a video on this promo a little bit more on its own in the future, especially when we're able to get a hold of some of the other versions of it, because this one has just the player one, the staff one, the top 8. This year they have a top 4 as well, and then they have a champion. So hopefully when David's able to get a set, I can do a bit more of a video showing that off. But that's just to show off the double foil pattern. So the next question is, how rare is the double foil patterned Voltorb? Well, it's going to depend a little bit on how many events use this same Voltorb, but there are not very many mentors at these events. Each event runs between 10 and 15 mentors, I believe. That's about the range of the number of people that are going to be there. So we've had that many given out at NAIC, probably that many at Worlds again, potentially that many at some more events in the future. Now, these regular Professor Program Voltorbs, just the regular ones that were given out for the Red Ball challenges, are pretty rare anyway. They don't come up for sale very often, at least this one hasn't. I've seen 2 or 3 of these sell, I think, mainly because, it's something that the Professor earns. It's not like Professor promos where you just go to the Professor store and buy it with points. This is a cool thing that they have to be selected for the Red Ball challenge. They have to pass the little test, so they're more likely to hang on to it. But for the regular versions, there's probably a couple of hundred at least of each Voltorb out there, because I think each mentor gets a decent amount to give out to members of their staff and members of their team. But with the double foil version that only goes to the mentors, we could very easily see that staying as a sub 50 copy card. Obviously, if anything like that changes or I get to get any more information, I'll definitely make a follow-up video. But for now, that is what we know about that Voltorb and about all of the cards from NAIC. I know it's kind of funny that my video on the NAIC cards ended up showing off a few cards that weren't from NAIC, but hopefully you still found the video interesting, and hopefully you still learned a little something about that Voltorb, because I only learned about it a few days after the event when someone just let me know about it. It is, of course, slightly gutting that 151 was looking to be a master set that was potentially within grasp. The set wasn't too big, the set wasn't too terrible to put together, and there weren't a crazy amount of variants. But hey, now we've thrown in a couple of Voltorbs, one of which will be near impossible to get a hold of. But hey, let me know in the comments, did you guys go to NAIC? Did you enjoy it? What did you pick up? Did you get any of these cards? And let me know if you're going to Worlds. If you have any questions about the cards, if there's anything you need me to explain in a bit more detail, be sure to leave it in the comments and I will get back to you. But as always, thanks for watching, hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you again soon.
We would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who chooses to support the DJ Gigabyte channel on Patreon. Join us to help out and get a look behind the scenes.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!